guys, and welcome back to Series 2, Episode 8 of the House Renovations.
And thank you to everyone who watched our previous video and commented in the comment section over there, basically voting on which worktop you thought would be the best fit for our new kitchen. But as you're about to see in today's video, we're still quite a long way off from that kitchen being anywhere near a kitchen.
We are. And you might be thinking that the kitchen is obviously the most important room of the downstairs. However, as James is about to explain, it's not. We have a much more important thing to get on with.
So you might not know this, but this area right here is going to be one of the most important areas of the whole house, and it's got nothing to do with the pipes or the wires or the cables or anything there. This is going to be where the dog sleeps. This is the dog bed area. Can you believe it? We're going to get a doggy. Not quite yet. Once the house is done.
He hasn't got a bed yet.
Because it doesn't have a bed, which leads me on to the next point. I need to build the dog bed area, and we've had lots of different ideas of what we're actually going to do here. The main difficulty is this is the mains water into the house. Potentially, you need to get to this if you ever have a leak or anything. You need to be able to turn it off. But I want it to be all boarded and boxed in. So I've had many ideas of how to box it in, what materials to make it out of, whether we just box it in like this or the whole bit coming out here. But we've now basically found out that we can get some good internet in this house because we've had very bad internet, which is being installed in a couple of weeks' time. So we're thinking that this area up here, oh, let me get the shelf. This shelf, really nice, like natural piece of wood. We're thinking of having, don't mind me. We're gonna have this shelf along here, which is gonna house like the internet and potential like phone line, and then we can have our car keys and stuff all the way along here. So I'm going to basically box out this whole area back here, and I've decided to do it out of MDF. I didn't really want to do it out of MDF, I'd rather had it all plastered, but I think when I build it out of MDF, which is this wood here, we're just going to paint it the same colour as this blue, so you won't really know, and then I can basically cut out a little service hatch on the MDF, and I've just bought some little magnets. So we can have a little box here which we can disconnect if we ever need to get to this and get any spanners in. But it should be a nice little useful area. Keep it the window. Got to build it out all the way around these pipes and stuff as well. We're going to be putting a different light switch in here. So this wall is actually going to be potentially quite tricky. There's a lot of stuff going on this one tiny bit of wall.
And you get to use more magnets.
Come on, battery! No. So this piece of MDF, which I've decided to build it out of 18mm MDF, fits really nicely on here, and I've just cut out this square which will be the little servant hatch. Making it this big is probably a little bit overkill because you'll probably never need to ever get into this section here, but I thought I would make it slightly bigger than normal. Normally it's just like a little circle just to be able to get your hand in to turn the water tap off here, but I made it slightly bigger just in case you ever need to basically get to these nuts and bolts and stuff, and there's a screw up here for an earth cable, but I think this is looking a lot better. So Holly has now just informed me that we're getting a big delivery turning up within 20 minutes. I've been rushing to try getting this section done because it's a big, heavy delivery, and my plan was to basically stack it all up under the stairs, but all of my tools and stuff are still here and I haven't quite finished this yet, which now means I'm gonna have to stack them somewhere else. and they can't even go over there. This room is just so full of stuff. Alright, so we have just had the delivery, which was all of these big old boxes here. These all weigh an absolute ton because they are floor tiles, because me and Holly have decided that the whole floor from the front door all the way through to the bifold doors is going to be with these really nice big 600 square floor tiles, which look incredible. But unfortunately, we found a few broken tiles, so I just had to go through every single box and check every single tile which had turned up. Yes, unfortunately, there was quite a few broken tiles and then corners and stuff all chipped off of them. And we also realised that they didn't even deliver the right amount, which is kind of annoying because we're getting these fitted fairly soon, so we need to get that sorted out. But in other news, you can see that this boxed out section is now pretty much complete. I've just finished putting the last few bits of MDF on, and I've just put the filler all in those holes and stuff. Now I will have to put a proper handle on. I've just put a screw on it at the moment, but if I pull this, as you can see, there's the little servant hatch to be able to get to the water pipe. So then I can put this, do it one-handed. Somehow it was a very tight fit. There we go. The magnets click it closed, and hopefully you will never really see that's there. And then the next plan of attack is to basically paint all of that blue and then finish doing all of the plasterboarding and building out and stuff around here, because I've got to do some more woodwork around this window. And I've just thought to myself, I don't know why I'm using a paintbrush when I could have just used a roller. I'm pretty much finished it now. So let's switch paces now. In the previous video, I spoke about how unlevel and uneven our floor is in the new kitchen. And to sort this out, we have to use self-leveling compound. But first we have to primer the floor.
No, please don't.
We've only got a paint mixer. I should probably mention as well that I've not actually done this before. I'm following the instructions.
Up to a point.
So I think we just chuck it down, Holly.
Yeah, what can go wrong?
It works. I think this is the low point. How's it looking, Holly?
Very shiny from this angle.
Shiny. You're going to say in a minute, ooh, can we keep it?
Can we?
Can the floor?
Okay, so the floor has now been levelled as much as it can be, and it took 7 bags of self-levelling. And I would love to take all the credit, but it was all James. I didn't really contribute to this.
I could get my hand underneath that spirit level.
We could have had a pond in here, it was that deep. Now,
look at that!
Pretty much level. No gap.
Alright, pretty much. It's
level.
a hell of a lot better than it was.
Yeah. So now the next thing we have to do is the underfloor heating. We're having underfloor heating both in the kitchen, and it runs all the way out to our extension. But first we have to mark out like where our cabinets are going to be, because you can't put underfloor heating underneath a cabinet.
Most worktops and cabinets are about 60 centimetres, which is about 2 foot. So we're going to go to about 70 centimetres, just over 2 foot, so we know it's not going to go over. And I'm literally just going to draw a line all the way around, 70 centimetres.
So usually when putting electric underfloor heating down, you'll put sort of thermal boards down first to stop the heat going down and up instead, which is what we did upstairs. However, when we had the extension done, we had to decide on the finished floor level. And we wanted a completely level floor all the way from the whole downstairs out to the patio with a smaller threshold as possible on the bifolds. And now we've got round to it and we're doing the floor. We're not quite sure that the tolerance we have for the threshold is enough to put the boards down.
And the tiles.
And the tiles.
And the adhesive. And the floor screen.
It's going to be so close, we don't want to risk it. But luckily for us, it's not the end of the world. Because we found this stuff, which is like an insulating primer. It's not as good as the boards, but it's so much better than doing nothing. So you paint it on and you can go up to 3 layers, and it has a similar effect to the boards. So we're going to use that instead.
So that basically means that we can actually just paint the floor, and then we can put our underfloor heating down, plus the tile and the adhesive, and not worry about going over the top of this threshold here, which is probably about 30 mil-ish. But if we put those boards down, that would obviously add about 6 mil on, so there was a potential of going just over the top of this threshold. So that is why we've decided to go with that thermal paint. Shake it up, Holly.
Let's shake it. So we're having a little dance while we're shaking it.
We'll be here all day.
You should have bought a bigger roller. We found a better roller and it's 100 times easier.
But this is now the 3rd coat. We thought we might have ran out of this stuff, but we've actually worked out that we're okay. We're okay? We're okay.